China has pledged to reach peak carbon emissions by 2030 and carbon neutrality by 2060. So where do things stand right now? Ann Lee joins us from San Francisco. She's the author of What the U.S. Can Learn from China. And Ann, there's this new report that came out the end of June, and it found that solar capacity simply off the charts in China, so much so that it is now more than the rest of the world combined. So China has reached its clean energy commitments 5 years early. We hear how daunting it is to kind of make the transition to green energy. What do we read into this?
Well, the Chinese are very dedicated to meeting these goals, and they have really well integrated supply chains, and so they're able to accelerate their manufacturing of these very easily. And I think that's great news for the world, where they can, access cheap renewables from China, and that could really help accelerate, the world's goals in trying to bring down carbon pollution.
Yeah, and China in recent years has actually doubled its onshore and offshore energy just in the last 5 years or so. So how is China accomplishing this feat? Is it a lot of government inducements, or is it just there's a desire to do it? What do you think the key objectives are that have helped them reach this status?
Well, certainly it's like any other country. China has both regulations and incentives in order to motivate people to manufacture more renewable energy. And so they've done a really good job removing a lot of red tape for companies that are engaged in these activities. And they're probably more efficient in doing that than other places, like perhaps in the U.S., for example. And China has also been very good in putting red tape in places where they want to discourage activity. So that combination of carrots and sticks is very powerful, to engage a country of over 1 billion people to move in the same direction.
Yeah, that study I mentioned earlier was conducted by the nonprofit Global Energy Monitor. The project manager from the nonprofit says that the increase in solar and wind is simply jaw-dropping. But despite that, there's still some concern about coal usage in China. Can you talk about that?
Yes, coal is still a big percentage of their energy needs. And even though China is obviously trying to be less coal intensive in their use of it, they still rely on that because it's very efficient, unfortunately. And so renewables need to have some breakthroughs in storage technology, in becoming more efficient, perhaps in transmission of renewables to different parts of the country and the world, in order to try to be more competitive with coal. And so that's true not just in China but in other countries as well. Obviously nuclear is much cleaner, like the cleanest and probably the most efficient, but it's still extremely expensive, and so that's a real reason why a lot of countries don't use it, unfortunately. But hopefully, other countries will take renewables more seriously and will come up with more inventions in this space, and so hopefully we can move more energy into renewables over the next few years.
Yeah, let's hope so. Ann Lee, thanks so much for your insights. Appreciate it.
Thank you.